The core challenge in computation is managing volume. To store thousands of identical data types in a predictable memory space, we need a structure that is both addressable and rigid. The array is that structure. It allows multiple contiguous data items to be stored under a single identifier, removing the need for unique variable names for every piece of information. In computer science examinations, an array is defined by two primary architectural properties: dimension and index. Dimension refers to the physical shape and scale of the data structure, defining exactly how many items the array can hold. The index is the unique numerical location identifier assigned to every individual element within those dimensions. In this one-dimensional list, the index column, 0, 1, and 2, is permanently locked to the memory slots containing the country names. To interact with these values, the computer requires a readhead to target these specific index numbers. While structurally organized, this data is effectively static. Without an execution mechanism to drive the readhead through the indices, the data cannot be processed efficiently. A manual approach would involve writing a unique line of code for every index location. This method fails as the dataset grows. Hard-coding memory access creates a rigid program that cannot adapt to arrays of varying lengths. The solution is iteration, specifically the for loop. A for loop operates on a fixed number of repetitions. As specified in the mark scheme, the primary advantage is that the programmer does not need to manually manage the loop counter. This automated counter is the tool required to drive our array's readhead. By synchronizing the loop's dynamic counter variable with the array's static index positions, we automate the traversal of memory. We can map this logic to pseudocode by populating 10 student test scores into our memory structure. We start by declaring the array boundaries. We allocate 10 integer slots, indexed from 0 to 9. Next, we establish a for loop with a variable named counter that precisely matches the array's index range of 0 to 9. Instead of a fixed number, we place the counter variable inside the array's index brackets. On the first cycle, the counter is 0. The program targets index 0, and the first score is stored. The loop iterates, automatically incrementing the counter to 1. The readhead shifts to the next index, and the second score is stored. This process repeats through indices 2 through 9 until the loop reaches the final defined boundary. The execution logic remained constant. Only the dynamically mapped index variable changed, allowing a single line of code to process the entire list. Linear tracking is insufficient if we need to store multiple linked data points, such as a low score and a high score for every student. This requires expanding the data structure into a two-dimensional grid with 10 rows on the y-axis and 2 columns on the x-axis. A single for loop provides only one counter, but this grid requires 2 separate spatial coordinates to address each cell. This is resolved through nested iteration, where one loop is contained within another. The outer loop uses counter x to select the primary row, identifying the student. The inner loop uses counter y to move across the columns within that specific row. Counter x locks onto row 0. Counter y then moves to column 0 to store the low score, followed by column 1 for the high score. Only after the inner loop finishes its range does the outer loop increment. Counter x moves to the second row, and the inner loop resets to process the next set of columns. The architecture of the algorithm is determined by the dimensions of the data. A 2D space requires nested execution. We can apply these models to an exam scenario where a multi-layered dataset must be processed under specific constraints. This 15-mark challenge requires the programmer to manage 24 temperature readings for each of the 7 days of the week. The prompt specifies that readings are taken hourly, resulting in 168 total data points for the week. Storing this information requires a 2D array to map hours against days. Additionally, we must calculate daily averages and store them in a separate parallel one-dimensional array. Solving this requires a precise alignment between the nested loops and the data structures. The declarations define the memory space, a 2D readings array for the hourly data, and a 1D average temp array for the daily results. The outer loop cycles through the 7 days. The inner loop cycles through the 24 hours within each day. Within the inner loop, each temperature reading is added to a running daily total. When the inner loop finishes its 24 iterations, the program returns to the outer loop to calculate the daily average. This average is then saved into the corresponding index of the 1D array before the outer loop moves to the next day. These 72 individual operations are seamlessly completed through a single, elegant, and perfectly repeating logic structure. By mapping dynamic iteration to static indices, a few lines of code can navigate memory structures of any size.